Hello, cats and kittens, felines and felidae, humans and variant humans, and every race, class, and subclass. Welcome to another edition of Brainy the RPG Cat. Tonight, we are doing Cardcatter Brainy, and we are going to be opening up several packs of Pokemon Silver Tempest. But we have some other cards to show first, and we're going to show that ahead of time. Thank you to OSDev and thank you to SonarAF for tuning in. You guys are terrific. I do appreciate you. And so, this stream, as always, is brought to you by, GreatMedia.Games. As you can tell, we're really big fans of trading card games on this channel. And if you go to GreatMedia.Games, you'll be able to get 10% off an online purchase of some new TCG single cards. Check it out. It's a service that I enjoy and I use. So go on and check out GreatMedia.Games. Save a few shekels on some brand new TCG cards of your own. And this stream is also brought to you by our Kofi page. Head over to Kofi.com/Brainy the RPG Cat in order to leave tips and request art commissions from me. And also, this stream is brought to you by my throne. If you're interested, you can buy requests from Brainy, request items you'd like Brainy to add to his wish list. I currently have some Pokemon cards up there. If you're interested, you can purchase those cards, and we'll do an unboxing with them, and I will mention your name as a person who was kind enough to purchase them. Alrighty, so thank you everybody once again for tuning in. So the first thing that I wanted to show you tonight is here is a pack of Dragon Shield cards. Just 100 standard dice sleeves. Except there is one thing different about them, and I'll show it to you here. Take a look at this. This is a custom set of 100 Dragon Armor card sleeves that has an image that you're capable of giving to them so that they'll be able to place onto the card sleeves. And so this was given to me as a Christmas gift from a friend, but it took a very long time to print. So I only got them. So thank you to Zach, just my very close personal friend from All Seas Collectibles, for buying me this set. And so I'm going to open one up, and I am going to show you a little, just one of them personally. So, the one at the front of the box, it has a barcode, but, you can see that, yeah, the art is all the way through when it comes to each one of these sleeves. It's got a nice matte finish with a grip on it. And so, as you recall, and, those of you who watch the stream regularly know that this artwork was given to me by twitter.com/SerenoChaos. So you should also check out her stream and make some art requests, because I do believe she is still taking commissions. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. She's a great artist, and, my friend Zach is really great for getting me this box of deck sleeves. All right. Sheesh, did my music turn off again? I don't know what's going on with the, I don't know what's going on with my stock sounds today, but it just really does not want to advance the track today. Maybe I'm pressing the wrong button or something like that. Alright. So, I opened a few cards while I was at the comic store earlier today, and it was another pack of Pokemon Sword and Shield Silver Tempest, so I'm going to show this one to you first. I've already opened the cards, I've already taken the code cards out of them, and I've already put those codes in Pokemon TCG Live. So stay tuned. The very next episode of I Do of Pokemon TCG Live is going to be all about the new booster packs that I opened during this stream and slightly before it. So these are all of the foil cards in the very front. I have a Swirlix that does flop and tackle. I have a Skuntank V that is a V level Pokemon That is the evolved form of Scunny. No, it's what do they usually call that? Shit. Now I'm already spacing on the skunk Pokemon. It has the ability, yes, Stunky. The ability is Pursuit Blast. It's a card that does 30 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. If that Pokemon retreated from the active spot during your opponent's last turn, this attack does 120 damage instead. So, let me see. If a Pokemon retreated from an active spot and then you still attack it on the bench with a Skuntank, then it does 120 damage. And Shrieking Poison for 90, your opponent's active Pokemon is now both confused and poisoned. Alright. So this is Slurpuff. You know, let me keep the foil cards in the frame. Slurpuff is 120, has Draining Kiss, which does 30 damage and heals 30 to this Pokemon, and Magical Shot for 100. This is Rapidash, has the ability Heat Boost. Once during your turn, you can discard an energy card from your hand in order to use this ability. During this turn, your Pokemon's attacks do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon, and also does Fire Main for 60. Dewpider is a 60 and it does a 60 HP, does Hook for 30. Here's Chestnut V, and so this is a very nice double foil design. It's a little bit ringed. It's kind of hard to see that on the feedback, but it is a very lovely looking alternate pattern card. So a Chestnut has the ability Needle Line. If your active Chestnut V is damaged by an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, put 3 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. And Touchdown, which heals 30 damage from this Pokemon. Chinchou has Lightning Ball for 10 and Gentle Slap for 20. Spinda has Dizzying Spin, 10 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon, and your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. We have some Rotom, 80 HP, has Overhaul, which shuffles your hand into your deck, then draw 6 cards, and then Mach Bolt for 80. Okay, so and then that is all of the foil cards. These are the common ones. There's a Yellow Energy, there's a Raichu, there's a Torracat. Well, Raichu is 120 HP. It does Ambushing Spark, and it does Electric Ball. Ambushing Spark says if your opponent has used the V-Star power, this attack does 100 more damage. So that's the good anti-V-Star Pokemon. I haven't seen a Pokemon deck that actually does a V-Star effect. I just heard a lot of it. And every once in a while they put dummy cards in these packs that simply have the word V-Star on them. And you're supposed to use them as a token. Devin says, oh yeah, they're cool, they're pretty cards. And let's see, Torracat, 80 HP, has Gritty Claws. During your opponent's next turn, if this Pokemon has full HP and would be knocked out by damage from an attack, it is not knocked out and its remaining HP becomes 10. And then Combustion for 70. Palisand, the Sandpot Trap. This attack does 30 damage to each of your benched Pokemon. And Land Crush for 120. Vampy does Knock Away, Flip a Coin if heads, this attack does 20 additional damage. Here's Litten. So I might have the makings of a Litten deck due to, just how many Litten cards I'm probably going to pull from this set. Na for 10 and Reprisal for 20. It does 20 damage for each damage counter that's already on the Pokemon. Rufflet is HP 70, does Jump On, Flip a Coin. If it's heads, the attack does 30 more damage. Here is Fennekin, HP 60. Lead, search your deck for a supporter card, reveal it, and then put it back into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Durant does energy digging. Search your deck up for up to 2 basic energy cards. Reveal them, and then put them back in your hand, and then shuffle your deck. Okay. Miss Magia, so one of my personal favorite Pokemons. HP 90, ability Spiteful Magic. If this Pokemon has full HP and is knocked out by damage from an attack, put 8 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. And then Eerie Voice, which allows you to put 2 damage counters on each of your opponent's Pokemon. Here's a green energy card. Here's a Quad Stone. You have the ability to use 4 Quad Stones at once. If you use 1 card, heal 10 damage from your active Pokemon. If you use 4 cards, heal all damage from each of your Pokemon. So that's, if you have 4 Quad Stones in a single deck, then you play them, and if you manage to play all 4, then you can heal all damage. Regenerative Energy, as long as this card is attached to a Pokemon, and it provides colorless energy whenever you play a Pokemon to evolve to Pokemon V, the card is attached to, heal 100 damage. Unidentified Fossil, HP 60. Play this card as if it were a 60 HP basic Pokemon. At any time during your turn, you can discard this card from play, and this card cannot retreat. Sandile does 70 HP and does bite for 30. Fennekin, I think this is our second Fennekin, 60. Does lead, search your deck for a supporter card, reveal it, and then put it back into your hand, and then shuffle your deck. Murkrow does Flock. At 60 HP does Flock. Search your deck for 2 more Murkrow, and then put them onto your bench, and then shuffle your deck. And then peck for 10. Snorunt is 60 HP. Has Collect, which allows you to draw a card, and Icy Snow for 20. Noibat, also 60 HP, is Flap for 10 and then Glide for 30. Here's a Dark Energy card. So Dragonair. Wrap, flip a coin. If it's heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. Toxicroak. Does Pierce for 120 HP, does Pierce for 30, and Driving Uppercut. During your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes 50 or more damage from attacks after applying weakness and resistance. So, I think Toxicroak would be really good if you are planning to make a dark deck. Jinx, HP 100. Selfish Lips, if this Pokemon is knocked out by damage from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon V, your opponent can't take any prize cards from it. This was a card that we saw when we were actually playing some Pokemon TCG Live. And then Psychic Assault for 10, plus more damage for each counter on active counter on this Pokemon. Amolga, HP 70. Lucky Find. Search your deck for an item card, reveal it, then put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Then Static Shock for 40. Beldum, HP 60. Magnetic Lift. Search your deck for a card, shuffle your deck, then put that card on it, and then does Tackle for 20. Stunfisk, 110 HP. Mudshot does 30. Mystery Bolt. You can use this attack only if you have no supporter cards in your discard pile. This attack does 100 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon, and don't apply weakness and resistance for the bench Pokemon. Vulpix, 70. Jump on, flip a coin. If it has, this attack does 20 more damage. Here's another Snorunt. I think we've seen Dragonair. Maybe Dragonair was actually in one of my previous Dragon sets. Well, no, probably not. But Dragonair, 100 HP, does Wrap for 30, and flip a coin if heads you paralyze, and then Surf for 80. Hello, Queen Vampiress. Thank you very much for tuning into the stream. How are you doing tonight? So, Torracat, HP of 80. Okay, I think we have seen one of these. I think it might have been one of the foil cards. V-Guard Energy. This Pokemon that attached to takes 30 less damage from your attacks from opponent's Pokemon V. That's good for an anti-Pokemon V set. Bellum, HP 60, Magnetic Lift, allows you to search your deck for a card, shuffle your deck, and then put that card on top of it. Baltoy, HP 50, Find a Friend, which allows you to search your deck for a Pokemon and then put it into your hand, or slap for 10. Sunkern, HP 40, does Seed Bomb for 20. Here's another Phanpy. Glad you're having a good time. Glad everybody in my chat is having a good time. Don't mind me. I'm just sitting here, just rattling off the details on all of these Pokemon cards. Indeedee, level 90. Smart Service allows you to search your deck for a card and put it into your hand once this card is played, and this does smack for 40. Victini has HP 70, Assisting Flame. Allows you to search up for 2 fire energy cards and from your discard to put in your Pokemon in any way that you like. That's a very good effect for a fire deck. And then Flare for 40. Here's a blue energy card. Toxapex, HP 120, Venoshock, does 10 plus if it is a Pokemon is already poisoned, it does 120 damage, and then Spike Shot for 90. And I guess I didn't separate out the trainer cards. I'm probably going to be doing that from this point forward. Professor Laventon, the professor from Pokemon Legends Arceus, allows you to put up 3 Pokemon that have Hisuian in their names from your discard pile into your hand. Dracloak does Spooky Shot for 40. Dratini does Slam, HP 70. Flip 2 coins, it does 30 damage for each heads. Esper has a very lovely, knit design on this card. HP 60 does Mumble for 10, and Gentle Slap for 20. Fletchling, HP 40, does Peck. Ferroseed, HP 60, does Tackle for 10, or Rolling Tackle for 20. Smeargle, HP 70, does Colorful Palette. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck and attach any basic energy cards to one of your Pokemon, or Ram for 30. Fion, or maybe Fion, I've never been sure how to pronounce that one, is Sea Feast. Search your deck for 3 basic Pokemon and put them onto your bench and then shuffle them into your deck, or Wave Splash for 20. Here's a Silver Energy card. Donphan, HP 150, does Overspin for 110. If this Pokemon evolved during the turn, this attack does nothing. Or Giant Fangs for 170. Duosion, the evolved form of Soliosis, HP 70, does Cell Spear for 20, or put 2 damage counters on top of one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Wailord, HP 200. The ability is Jumbo Size. This Pokemon takes 30 less damage from attacks after applying weakness and resistance. Special Wave does 120 plus damage. If this Pokemon has special energy attached, this attack does 120 more damage. Rotom, HP 80, Overhaul. Shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw 6 cards, or Mach Bolt for 80. Swirlix, I believe, was one of my reverse coil cards. Swablu, HP 50, does continuous spin. Flip a coin until you get tails, and it does 20 damage for each heads. Mistravu, HP 60, Confuse Ray. Flip a coin. If heads, your Pokemon's active Pokemon is now confused. So, I'd also like to try to see if I could build a Mistravu's deck. Or it's Misdreavus. I think that's how it's pronounced. It's Misdreavus. Once we open up the big box, maybe I'll have enough to actually do that. Marianne, HP 60, does Poison Sting. The opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. It's another Silver Energy. Liepard This Pokemon cannot be paralyzed, or does Slashing Claw for 90. More trainer cards here. This is the Suspicious Food Tin. Heals 80 damage for one of your Pokemon that has at least one Psychic Energy attached. If you healed any damage this way, discard a Psychic Energy from it. Pokemon Center Lady. Heal damage from one of your Pokemon, and it recovers from all special conditions. You've got a funny way of saying Nurse Joy, you know that? Okay. Weedle, HP 60, has a call for family. Search your deck for a basic Pokemon and then put it on your bench and shuffle your deck. Inkay does tackle for 10 and attack from behind for 20 plus 50 more damage if it's already confused. But I believe that means that you have to use a different Pokemon in order to confuse it. So that would work in like a deck combo. Hatena, level 60, has the ability Stampede for 10 and Magical Shot for 30. Trubbish has Venoshock. Well, HP of 60, Venoshock for 20 plus. If your opponent's active Pokemon is poisoned, it does 50 more damage. And finally, Kakuna with 80 HP and Bug Bite for 30. Alright, so that was all of the cards that I had opened up when I was at the card store earlier. I'm going to put those aside, and then we are going to open up the full display box. So, I think there still might be another couple of foil cards in there. Okay, so here's the full Pokemon box of Silver Tempest. And, well, regrettably, you know, for the roughly about the same amount of money, you don't get the same amount of cards that you would have in a Commander Legends pack. But at any rate, you know, those Commander Legends pack are that large so that it can accommodate people playing Commander using only one set. And Pokemon doesn't have any kind of alternate format like that, so they don't have to worry about it. One thing that I like about, you know, the Pokemon card boxes over the other ones is that, you know, you can go ahead and you can open it up in a way that it serves as its own display case. You know, Pokemon is always very efficient when it comes to all of its card building concepts. Is that, you know, you've already seen that with the 6 booster pack came in a box that unfolds and you can additionally use as a deck box, which I think is very helpful. You know, a lot of younger children play Pokemon, and so the fact is that, you know, the boxes can also be repurposed is very, very helpful for a younger audience. So, I'm not entirely sure how many packs are in here, so I'll count them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Commander does need a crap load of cards. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So 18 on one side, 18 times 2. I regret to say that I'm not all that good at math, you know, despite being brainy. And also despite playing all of these Pokemon cards. 18 times 2 is 300. No, it's not. Let me see. 8 and 2 is 16. Carry the 2. 2 and 1 is 2. So that's 20. Yeah, 36. That's what it is. So this box has 36 in it. Alright, you saved me a little bit of time there, Devin. Alright. So, you know, if you wanted to, you know, you could keep the display box and you could put it up right on the shelf or something like that. And, well, afterwards, I don't know specifically what you would do with it. I mean, you would need a big whole hunk of cards in order to fit back in here so it would be able to stand the way that it's supposed to. I mean, this is certainly useful for the people who regularly sell Pokemon cards because they can just keep the card packs in here and then they can use it in a display case. I could put some decorative rocks in it. Well, I accidentally put a Thunderstone in one once, and I accidentally evolved the card box. That's probably the lone Pokemon joke that we're going to be doing during tonight's stream. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's put everything in the corner. And I'm going to start opening up one pack at a time. Box at you. Alright, so I was having a slightly hard time opening packs while I was at the comic book store too. I just really think that it had something along the lines of maybe all of Silver Tempest does not have working card rip slots, something like that. So first thing I need to remember to do is I need to remember to take all the code cards out of here. I don't want to display them on the stream because I want to enter them into my Pokemon TCG Live later. Okay, so here we have Dratini, level 70, Phoebus, level 30. So yeah, I think we've seen most of these cards so far. I think Phoebus is new though. Phoebus is HP of 30, Ascension allows you to search your deck for a card that evolves from this Pokemon and then put it on this Pokemon to evolve it, or do splash attack for 10. Here's another Fampi. Here's another Litten. So I think that Litten deck is inevitable. Here's another Rufflet. Here's a Krogunk, and this is a reverse foil card. It's HP of 80, and it does Corkscrew Punch for 30. Terrakion is a foil card, HP 130, and it has Cavern Tackle. During your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage from attacks done to this Pokemon. If one of your Pokemon used Cavern Tackle during your last turn, this attack can't be used. Alright. Fighting. Here we have Fighting Energy. I should still be separating my foil cards. Alright. Oh, hang on just a second. Uh-oh. For some reason, I had an alarm set for 7:30. I wasn't expecting to go off. Alright. Torracat, HP of 80, does Gritty Claws for 40. So I think, we've seen that card before. Here's another Dragonair. Venomoth is new. HP of 90, Miracle Power, does 30 damage, flip a coin if heads. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now affected by that special condition. And then does Gust for 70. And here's another Fighting Energy. Brown Fighting Energy. Here's pack number 2. Alright. Okay, here we are. Okay, here's another Fampi. Here's another Denditi. Here's another Marianne. Here's another Mr. Vu. So that's good for me because I definitely want to build the Miss Magius deck. Swablu, level 50, does continuous spin, flip a coin until you get tails, does 20 damage for each head. Here's a Braixen, and I believe that it has the one of the female default costumes from Sword and Shield, but somebody correct me if I have that wrong. HP of 90, does Combustion for 30, and Flare Parade for 60. This attack does 60 damage for each Serena card in your discard pile. Okay, so that's probably Serena. Alright, so here's another V card. This is Regidrago V, which I believe is an evolved form of Regigigas. Celestial Roar allows you to discard the top 3 cards from your deck. If any of those cards are energy cards, attach them to this Pokemon, Or Dragon Laser for 130. This attack does 30 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Do not apply weakness and resistance. Alright, here's another energy card. Here's another unidentified fossil. Here's the first Glalie card. We've seen, I think, maybe about 3 or 4 snow runs at this point, but this is the first Glalie. This does Bite for 60, and then Big Mouth for 130. If you played Candace from your hand during this turn, this attack does 130 more damage. I'm starting to see a lot of cards based that work with trainer cards. And here is Candace, the trainer card. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. You can reveal any number of water Pokemon and water enemy energy cards you find there and put them into your hand, and then shuffle the other cards back into your deck. Alright. Pack number 3. We shall see if I don't end up losing count like I usually do. Alright. So, take out that code card again. Pet Lil, HP 50, does Ram and Flop. Here's a Pikachu. It's been a while since I've seen a Pikachu card in the modern set. He has 70 HP, does Pika Strike. If one of your Deden used Deden short during your last turn, this attack does 180 more damage. So it's definitely a part of a Pikachu Deden combo. Growlithe, HP 90, does Flare and Ram. Clink, HP 50, does Call Sign. Search your deck for a Pokemon, reveal it, and then put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Wailmer, HP 110, Gulp Down, heal from this Pokemon the same amount of damage you did to your opponent's active Pokemon. Or Wave Splash for 60. And so this is Clink's Evolved form, Clang. And this is a reverse foil card. HP 90, Gear Grind 80, flip 2 coins, this does 80 for each heads. So, let's see, Frostlass, HP 90, Frosty Jail. If you play Candace from your hand during this turn, this attack does 90 more damage and your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. Or Frost Breath for 60. Here is a Psychic Energy card. Here is Siglaglyph, and so I'm very familiar with this card because we did play it a lot in Pokemon TCG Live. Warning allows you to search your, 100 HP. Warning allows you to search your deck for a basic Pokemon, put it in your active bench, then shuffle your deck. If your opponent's active Pokemon is a V, you can put up to 5 basic Pokemon onto your bench instead, or do Cutting Wood for 70. Gym Trainer card, draw 2 cards. If your opponent was knocked out during your opponent's last turn, draw 2 more cards. Or Kirlia, HP 80, has the ability Refinement. You must discard a card from your hand in order to use the ability. Once during your turn, you can draw 2 cards, or Slap for 30. So this was deck number 3, I believe. We've barely only scratched the surface at this point. If I'm getting that wrong, don't hesitate to tell me in chat. I'm not embarrassed by it. Alright. So let's see here. Okay, so here we have Fennekin. Fennekin is an HP 60. It has lead. Search your deck for a supporter card, reveal it, and then put it into your hand, and then shuffle your deck, or Live Coal for 10. Murkrow, we've already seen Murkrow, Flock, and Peck. If I make a dark deck, it might be interesting to try to use Murkrow's Flock effect for that. Beldum, HP 60, does Magnetic Lift. Search your deck for a card, shuffle your deck, and put that card on top of it, or tackle for 20. Baltoy, HP 50, lets you find Refriend or Slap. I think we've seen that one. Here's another Sunkern. Here's a Beldum, but it's a reverse foil card. Here's another Miss Magius. I'm definitely going to need that. Another Silver Energy card. A Dracloak. Evolves from Dreepy, HP level 90, does Spooky Shot for 40. Matang, HP 100, Bullet Punch, flip 2 coins. This attack does 30 more damage for each heads. Or Anorith, which evolves from an unidentified fossil. HP is 90. Or do Fossil Drop for 30 plus discard it plus 120 damage if you discard the fossil card from the Pokemon. All right. Deck number 4. There we go. All right. Okay. Fingers crossed. Fungus, HP 50, does Ram. Sandygast, you know, we saw the bigger Sandcastle Pokemon earlier. HP 80, does Corner for 10. During your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon cannot retreat. Relicanth, HP 90, does Fossil Finding. Search for any combination of identified fossil and rare fossil cards from your discard pile into your deck. So there is definitely one deck intended entirely for fossil Pokemon. And then Water Pulse for 30, and then opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep. Howlucha, another one of my favorite Pokemons. HP is 80. Allure draws 2 cards, and Acrobatics allows you to flip 2 coins. The attack does 20 more damage for each heads. Togedemaru, HP 80. This one is interestingly a Steel type. Togedash requires you to use an electric energy on it. For 10, flip a coin. If heads, during your opponent's next turn, if this Pokemon is knocked out, your opponent can't take any prize cards from it. Okay. Here is another full foil card. This one is Radiant Alakazam. HP 130. Ability is Painful Spoons. Once during your turn, you may move up to 2 damage counters from one of your opponent's Pokemon to another of their Pokemon. Or Mind Ruler for 20 times each card in your opponent's hand. Hisuian Lilligant, HP 120. Swelling Scent allows you to search your deck for up to 2 energy cards and attach them to your bench Pokemon. Or Spiral Kick for 15. Here's a V-Star dummy card. So those are going in the bin, you know, along with all the wrappers I'm pulling off. All right. Behem, HP 90, evolves from Elgym. It does Psychic Spear for 30 and Psychic Arrow. This attack does 60 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Also apply 1 weakness and resistance for the bench Pokemon. Alright. Emergency Jelly. At the end of each turn, the Pokemon this card is attached to has 30 HP or less remaining and has any damage counters on it. Heal 120 damage from it. If you heal any damage this way, then discard this card. And here's another Serena. Alright. This reminded me of my old game shop. We'd always have a deck of spare tokens on the shelf. And so when I bought that trainer set that I showed probably during the last time I did Cardcatter Brainy, I managed to pick up just a big plastic token for a V-Star. So I'm definitely going to be using that instead of, you know, one of the spare cards that's for one of these sets. Alright, so this is Spinda. Yeah, we've already seen Spinda. We've already seen Phoebus. We've already seen Noibat, Snorunt, Sandile, and so this is a reverse foils Snorunt. This is a Zygarde, HP 90. Shout of Power attaches a basic energy card from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon or a speed attack for 70. Here's another energy card. Here's another Jinx. This is another Toxapex, and this is another Professor Laventon. Alright. Okay. Okay, so here is Ralts, HP 60. Memory Skip allows you to choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks during your opponent, and that Pokemon can't use that attack. Really bad if you have a Pokemon on the bench that only has one attack. Krogunk HT80 Corkscrew for 30. I think we've already seen this. This is the first Solosis. We've seen the Evolve form before. Does Ram for 20 and HP of 40. Elegium. This is, once again, we've seen the Evolve form, but not this one. HP 60 does Headbutt for 20. Zubat, HP 40 does Bite for 10. Here's a full art Gardevoir, and it's a really, really nice card. This is 150 HP, evolves from Kirlia. Ability is Refinement. You must discard a card from your hand in order to use this ability. Once during your turn, you can draw 2 cards, or do Magical Shot for 120. Milotic evolves from Phoebus, HP 130. Water Arrow. This attack does 50 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon, and does Mellow Wave for 60, and your opponent's Pokemon is now asleep. Here's another Dark Energy. Meowstic evolves from Esper, HP 90. Inviting Ears. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you insert your deck for up to 2 supporter cards, reveal them, and then put them in your hand, then shuffle your deck. Or Super Psybolt for 80. Another Glalie, and another Candace. Alright. Well, let's see. So, let me put that away. Alright, so this is another Ferroseed. This is another Pikachu. One of those ones that only works with the Den. Another Ponyta. I don't think we've seen Venonat, but he is HP 60 and then Tackle for 20. Another Dupiter. Here's a Growlithe Reverse Foil, HP 90, does Flare and Ram. Here's a Rapidash. This is the first time we've seen Rapidash. We've seen some Ponytas before. HP 100. Ability is Heat Boost. Once during your turn, you can discard a Fire Energy card in order to use this ability. During this turn, your Fire Pokemon's attacks do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon before applying weakness and resistance. And then Fire Main for 60. Green Energy. Another Palisand. Another Dragonair. And another Toxicroak. Alright. Guess what, folks? I have just lost count. All I know is that the first pile is half of the size of the second pile at this point. Alright. Take that away. Okay. You're halfway through. Well, I would say I'm a third of the way through. Alright, so Emolga. I think we've seen Emolga. We haven't seen a Deden yet, and that's distressing me because then all those Pikachu team-up cards aren't going to work. Chimecho, HP 70, does Dreaming Tone. If an energy card is attached to defending Pokemon, that Pokemon will be put to sleep or hang down for 30. Baneri, HP 60, does Try Bouncing, flip a coin. If it's Tails, the attack does nothing. Alright, they'll get a Deden, I'm sure of it. Yeah, there's a very good chance of that. Drowsy, HP 70, does Side Punch for 10, or Hypnotic Ray for 20, put the active Pokemon to sleep. Spinarak does Bug Bite for 30. Here's another Rotom. Here's another Victini. Here is an Electric Energy card. Here's another Clang. Clang, well, yeah, we've already seen that. Kokorock, this is the first time we've seen an evolution from Sandile. This is HP 100, does Crunch for 60, flip a coin of heads, discard an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. And here's another Anorith. Alright. You know, for the sheer amount of fossil Pokemon I'm finding, I might want to try the fossil deck. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. Let's see. Take that card. Alright. Esper. I think we've seen the normal card of this one before. Here's another Smeargle. Here's another Litten. Here's another Pet Lily. Here's another Chinchou. This is a reverse foil version of Venomoth. And so, for a grass type Venomoth, I really do like the effect on that one. Okay, here's a Lugia V, and so this is probably one of the cards that is advertised in the entire set. It has HP 220. It uses nothing but colorless energy. It has the ability to read the wind, discard a card from your hand if you do, draw 3 cards. Or Arrow Dive for 130, which makes you discard a Stadium. Another Fighting Energy. Another Wailord. Here's a Raichu that evolves from the Pikachus. If your opponent has used their V-Star power during this turn, this attack does 100 more damage, or Electric Ball for 120. And another Torracat. Alright. You know, the other thing that is concerning me a little bit is that I'm seeing a lot of Littens and Torracats, but I am not seeing any Incineroars. Alright. Another Swablu, another Swirlix, another Rotom. Here's a Dreepy. This is a slightly different... Yeah, this was the one that the other card evolves from. HP 60, does Reckless Charge for 30, and then 10 damage to itself. Another Vulpix. Here's another Slurpuff, but this one is the reverse foil. This is a Crobat, and this one's a foil. This is 130. Does a Venomous Fang for 50 and poisons a Pokemon. Or a Critical Bite, this attack does 30 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. If that is knocked out by damage to this attack, you can take 2 more prize cards. So that's a total of 3 prize cards for knocking someone out with a Crobat. Fire Energy, another Metang, another Toxapex, and a Lance supporter card. Search your deck for up to 3 Dragon-type Pokemon, reveal them, and then put them in your hand, then shuffle your deck. Who is the Dragon type in Sword and Shield? I think he deserves that effect more than Lance. I accidentally tore an extra shred off of that one. Alright. Okay, another Fletchling. Another Dratini. Since the only dragon Pokemon that I've seen so far is Dratini, I wonder how well it would work. Here's another Clink. Here's another Stunfisk. Here's another Togedemaru. Here is a Deden, and this is the first time we've seen Deden, and this one's a reverse foil card. HP of 60, does Tail Smack for 10, or Daily Short, you can use this attack only if one of your Togedemaru used Togedash. During your last turn, your opponent's Pokemon is now paralyzed. Togedash. I haven't really even seen that one. Told you so. Yeah, you told me so. I have been told. Keldeo, HP 120, does Wave Splash for 20, or 4 as 1 for 50 plus. If Cobalion, Terragon, and Viseron are on your bench, that attack does 70 more damage. Here's a Purple Energy. Here's another Regenerative Energy. Here's another Unidentified Fossil. And here's Capturing Aroma. If heads, search your deck for an evolution Pokemon, reveal it, and then put it into your hands. If tails, search your deck for a basic Pokemon. So it's like an incense, but it actually also involves a coin flip. Alright. Okay. Sunkern, HP 40, does C-Palm for 20. Yeah, we've seen that one. Another Fampi, another Ndidi, another Marianne, another Mistravu, another Sunkern, which is a reverse foil, a V-Star Unknown, 250 HP. It has Tri-Power, flip 3 coins. This attack does 70 damage for each heads, or Star Cipher. Until this Pokemon leaves play, it gains an ability that has the effect the weakness of each of your opponent's Pokemon in play is now Psychic. The amount of weakness doesn't change. So this actually changes a Pokemon's weakness, which is a pretty sneaky trick for a V card. Let's see. So that is quite literally the very first V-Star card that I have ever drawn, let alone seen. So if I ever try a deck with a V-Star effect, I'm going to go to the unknown first. Ferret Horn, HP 130, evolves from Ferroseed, does spinning attack for 50 or whip smash for 130. Here's another Toxicroak, and here's another Professor Leventon. Alright. Okay. Here's another Murkrow. Here's another Emolga. Here's a Meditite, HP 60, ability Yoga Guard. As long as this Pokemon is on your bench, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks, both yours and your opponent's. Or a Psyshot for 20. Durant does HP 110, Energy Digging. Search your deck for 2 basic energy cards, reveal them, and then put them in your hand, then shuffle your deck, or bite for 50. Here's another Ralts. Here's another Toxapex, but it's a reverse foil. Here's the first Incineroar. HP 170. Secret attack, choose an attack from one of this Pokemon's previous evolutions and use it as this attack. Or a Flare Shot from 180 and makes you discard all energy from this Pokemon. What are you searching? Or are you just ripping some silver? I'm just ripping some silver. I think that I am hunting for the deck that I can use for Miss Magius. I've already pulled 2 Miss Magius and something in the neighborhood of 5 Mistravus, so I'm really good in that respect. Yeah, blue energy. And also, thank you very much for tuning in, Reckless Rebel. Thank you very much for joining the stream. How are you doing tonight? The trainer card, Fursode Girl, search your deck for a basic Pokemon and then put it onto your bench and shuffle your deck. Lopunny, 110, does Smash Kick for 30 or Double Kick for 100, times 100 damage for each head. Okay, and another Quad Stone. I wonder, how people manage to put the Quad Stones together. I know that there has to be, just a very specific combination of trainer cards or Pokemon abilities that allows you to do that. Alright. Okay, here's another Sandile. How is Day? I like playing the Lugia deck on the TCG game. Well, a moment ago, I did pull the V card for Lugia. Let me see if I can find it again. Oh. I think I cycled over it once accidentally. I believe, yeah, it's this one. And so it's really interesting that this Lugia is all colorless energy. So this is a card that, can probably fit into just about any deck. I don't know if that's necessarily the Lugia that you have been using, but it certainly is an impressive one. Alright, so... Okay, here's another Fennekin. Here's another Murkrow. Here's another Beldum. Oops, putting that in the wrong pile. Maybe I should just start another stack at this point. Another Beldum. Another Baltoy. This is a Blissey V, and I have been trounced by this card several times while playing TCG Live. HP is 250. Ability is Natural Cure. Whenever you attach an energy card from your hand to this Pokemon, it recovers from a special condition. And then Blissful Blast only requires one colorless energy. This attack does 30 more damage for each energy attached to this Pokemon. If you did any damage with this attack, you may attach up to 3 energy cards from your discard pile into your Pokemon. Wow. That is powerful. Yeah, very good card and a great pull. Here's Klinklang. So we've seen the level 1 to level 2 evolutions. This is the level 3. HP 160, ability Triple Gears. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you can search your deck for up to 3 basic energy cards and attach them to your Pokemon any way you like, and then shuffle your deck. And then Power Beam is 130. Here's another V-Star dummy card. Slurpluff. Yeah, I think we've seen Slurpluff before. Well, maybe we haven't. Yeah, actually we haven't, and it was also a foil card. Here's the first Honchkrow. We've been seeing the Murkrow ability, which allows you to effectively call more Murkrows. Let's see what this one does. HP 120, triple draw 3 cards, Callous Wings 120, and switch this Pokemon with one of your bench Murkrow. It's starting to look like, if you're going to do the Murkrow deck, all you're going to be playing is Murkrow and Honchkrow. And then another Raichu. Alright. Alright, so put that aside. Okay. Here's a Vulpix, level 70, does jump on, flip a coin, it does 20 more damage. Okay, yeah, I think we've seen that one before. Here's another Drowsy. Here's another Growlithe. Here's another Mischievous, and here is a Wailmer. Here's a Fungus, but this one's a reverse foil. This is a Mungus. This is the first time we've seen this one. HP is 90. Ability is Surprise Spores. During your opponent's turn, if this Pokemon is discarded from your hand, and by the effect of an attack or ability from your opponent's Pokemon, or by an effect from your opponent's item or supporter cards, discard your opponent's entire hand. Wow. That would be strong for a grass deck. And then Hypno Hammer for 50 puts your Pokemon to sleep. Another Dark Energy. Another Leafy Camo Poncho. Whenever it plays a supporter card done with the Pokemon V-Star V-Max, this card is attached to. So attaching this card to any other Pokemon limits a Pokemon that is V or V-Max from attacking you. And so, I know a lot of those cards have just come out recently because V Pokemon decks have more or less been dominating the competitive scene. I don't know how useful that is. Here's another Pallet Sand, and then here's another Metang. Alright. Oops. Accidentally picked up 2 packs at the same time. Alright. And then put that one aside. Okay. I'm going to start another stack because this one is starting to get precarious. Alright. Here's another Depider. Here's another Spinda. Here's another Phoebus. Here's another Noibat. Here's another Snorunt. Ooh, this one is very nice. It's just black and gold. And full art and foil. Duraludon VMAX evolves from Duraludon V. Ability Skyscraper, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon that has special energy attached. Or G-Max Pulveration does 220 damage. This attack's damage isn't affected by any effects in your opponent's active Pokemon. It's a very nice looking card variant, absolutely. We get that, and we also get a V card. This one is Bajerna, HP 210. Gear Throw. This attack does 30 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon or Special Laser for 100 plus. If this Pokemon has any special energy attacks, this attack does 120 more damage. Alright. And then another green energy. Here's another Braixen. Here's more Peko. This is the first time that we've seen this one. HP 60 does Peko Blaster. You can use this attack if only one of your Deden used D-to-D short during their last turn. This attack does 60 damage for each of your opponent's Pokemon. It's like all of the Pikachu adjacents have chosen to team up and help each other out in this set. And then another Capturing Aroma. Alright. It's Electric Mouse Night. I can't believe what you did, Morty. Morty, you pissed off all the electric mice. We're going to have to pack up and we're going to have to go to another dimension. Because you messed with the electric mice, Morty. Alright. Marianne, another Indeedee, another Baltoy, another Sunkern, another Clink. Okay, here's a Militech, and so this is a full art card, and this is also the card that evolves from Phoebus. HP 130, Water Arrow does 50 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon, or Mellow Wave for 60. An Earthen Sealstone, attach a Pokemon tool to one of your Pokemon that doesn't already have a Pokemon tool attached. The V-Star power. This Pokemon, the V, this card is attached to, can use the V-Star power on this card, which is Star Gravity. Put damage counters on each of your opponent's Pokemon V until the remaining HP is 100. You can't use more than V-Star power in a game. Still basically trying to figure out that mechanic. And so, here's another Energy, here's another Deden. So we've gotten up to 2 Dedens and 3 Pikachus. Another Quad Storm and another Morpeko. Alright. So, despite, a lot of the electric mice having different abilities like fighting and also dark, they all only require electric energy, so maybe that's the way that the deck plays. Alright. Okay, here's a Vulpix. Here's a Snorunt. Here's a Fletchling. Here's a Ferroseed. Here's a Smeargle. This is another Dreepy, but it's a reverse foil. This is a another F1, a Blue Energy, an Altaria, evolves from Swablu, HP 110. Magical Echo, move all damage counters from one of your bench Pokemon onto your opponent's active Pokemon, or Blasting Wind for 90. Here's Fletchinder. I think we pulled something in the neighborhood of 6 Fletchlings by now. This is the first stage 2 card. Steady HP 80 does steady fire breathing for 30. And Dracloak evolves from a Dreepy. Yeah, I think we've seen that card too. Okay, so the first pile of roughly about 18 cards is now dissipated. Now we have the second pile here. Alright. Alright. Okay. Another Chimecho, another Baniri, another Drowsy. I think we've seen Spinarak before, but anyways, it's an HP 60, does Bug Bite for 30. Ralts. Here's a reverse foil of the Venonat. Here's Noivern. This is the first time we've seen the evolution of Noibat. HP 110. Radiant Hunt allows you to knock out one of your opponent's Radiant Pokemon. Or 7th Echo. Does 70 damage to rock cards until you have 7 damage in your hand. 7 is a really important part of that card. It's also considered to be a dragon type. That's interesting. Dark, another dark energy, another sacred glyph. Here's a different Golbat. This one isn't nearly as good an effect as the other one we got. It only does bite for 30. And another Meowstic. So another character that seems to be absent so far is Esper. We definitely need an Esper if we want to use all of these Meowstics. Okay. This is a different Fennekin. HP 60. Oh, Leave and Light Call. Actually, yeah, we have seen of those. Esper, my beloved, precious little baby. Adorable little kitty cat that can destroy your mind. And was once a meme. Considered to be a meme because it was way too creepy. Another Durant. Another Emolga. Another Beldum. Another Stunfisk. Here is a Gym Trainer card. Allows you to draw 2 cards. Yeah, well, we've seen Gym Trainer, but this one is the reverse foil. Armaldo evolves from Anorith, HP 150. Reaping Claw, if your opponent's active Pokemon has 100 HP or less remaining, it's knocked out. Or Boulder Crush for 160. Another Green Energy. Here is Wallace, a trainer card. Draw 3 cards. Your opponent may draw a card. If they do, draw 1 more card. Where Wallace is in the continuity is escaping me at the moment. Another Jinx, and here is Brandon's supporter card. You use this card only when it's the last card in your hand. Draw a card for each bench Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's. Wallace doesn't ring a bell. Maybe Black and White. Black and White is probably the only gen that I actually skipped. Okay, there we go. I just ripped that pack a new one. Alright. So. Yeah, Gen 3. I had to remember. It's my favorite gen. Yeah. Here's another Swirlix. Here's another Dreepy. Here's another Rotom. Here's another Vulpix. Here's another Emolga. This is a reverse foil of the Jinx. Here is a full art supporter card of Serena. I'm sure that one is pretty well in demand. Here's an energy card. Another Krokorok. Another Behaim. And another Braixen. Alright. Okay. Here's another Klogunk, another Solosis, another Elegium. I'm curious now. I don't have a frame of reference for card value. I'm gonna go look it up. So, frequently, there's as you know that Pokemon cards usually have at least one foil card or reverse foil card in every pack. The Vs and the V-Stars are slightly more rare, but the only time a Pokemon card tends to go up in value is whether or not it is actually good and competitive. So that's basically my understanding of the value of Pokemon cards. Okay, Zubat, Fungus. We found our first Hypno, and it's a reverse foil card. HP is 110. Call allows you to search your deck for up to 2 Stage 1 Pokemon and put them onto your bench and shuffle your deck. Or does Zen Headbutt for 90. Braviary. This is the first time we've seen this one. Evolves from Rufflet, HP 120. Eerie Cry does not require energy. It allows you to put damage counters on each of your opponent's Pokemon that has any damage counters on it. That would be a really strong card for like a sniper deck or something like that. or Mind Bend for 80 and Confusion. Another V-Star. Kirlia, HP is 80. It has the ability Refinement. You can discard a card from your hand in order to use this ability. Once during your turn, you can draw 2 cards or slap for 30. Another Gym Trainer, and another Venomoth. Alright. Aha! I think we found our first Esper. Okay. Esper, level 60. 60 HP. Does Mumble and Gentle Slap. Oh, well, now that I've seen the card art again, is that I do realize we probably have about 3 of these now. And it's just a card that has that little stitched up dull version of Esper on it. Here's Dratini, another Chincho, another Menadite, little plush baby, another Dupiter. Okay, this is a Jinx full art. I believe it does have the same ability as the previous cards. Yeah, I do believe it does have the same ability, but it's nice because it's foil and it's full art. Art Shops, HP 150. This one is another foil. Ability is Primal Turbo. Once during your turn, you can search your deck for up to 2 special energy cards and attach them to one of your Pokemon and then shuffle your deck, or Speedwing for 120. Another Steel Energy. This is a Lantern. This is the evolution of Chinchou. Does Ram for 30 or Strong Volt for 160 and discard 2 energy from this Pokemon. An unidentified fossil card. And Aquanid, this is the first time we've seen this. This is the evolved form of Dupiter. Drowning Ball does 20, flip a coin. Your opponent's active Pokemon is not paralyzed and discard an energy from that Pokemon. Or Head Bounce for 60. Alright. Okay. Another Sandygast, another Relicanth, another Hawlucha, another Togedemaru, here's another Pet Lily, another Emolga, another Magierna V. This is the first time we've pulled 2 of the same V card during this stream. Another Purple Energy, Wallace, Lantern, and Brandon. Alright. Alright. Here's another Ponyta. You know, that one, it's a common card. It has a little bit of a crease on it, but I'm not going to be mad because it's just a common card. Venonat, another Ralts, another Spinda, another Pikachu, a Golbat, a reverse foil, HP 70. Here's a Cobalion, ability, HP 120. Ability is Justified Law. Your Pokemon's attacks do 3 more damage for your opponent's active Dark Pokemon. Or follow up for 30, choose 2 bench Pokemon for each of these Pokemon, search your deck for a basic energy card and attach it to that Pokemon. That would be really good in a Steel deck. Alright, so Fire Energy. This is our first Stonjourner, HP 130. Does Rock Throw for 30, or Mystery Press for 60. Plus, if you have no supporter cards in your discard pile, this attack does an additional 130. Here's another Golbat, and another Furisode Girl. What is a Furisode? I mean, what are they actually trying to imply with that? I'm sure it has something to do with Sword and Shield, but I don't remember running into a Furisode Girl in one of my playthroughs. Rumble. Alright. Okay. This is a style of kimono, particularly with the large sleeves. Did you Google that, Devin? Well, thanks for doing that, because I learned something today. Another Pikachu, another Growlithe, another Clink, another Welmer, another Dratini, another Krokorok. Here's the one that we haven't seen. Verizon basic HP 110. 4 is 1. If Cobalion, Terrakion, and Keldeo are on your bench, this attack does 70 more damage. So I think that, these cards were probably the semi-legendaries in a generation that I don't quite recall. But if you have all 4 of them in your deck and you manage to get them all on the bench, then you can do additional damage with these cards. And then Leaf Drain is 50. Another Fighting Energy. Another Altaria. Another Lance. And another Fletchinder. Okay. I have to double check if it was a particular reason. I only remembered it being a kimono. Alright. Verizon was in black and white. It reminds me an awful lot of those, grass deer that I've been finding all over the land in Scarlet and Violet. Another Noibat. Another Todegemaru. Another Sandile. Another Swirlix. Another Mariani. Baltoy, reverse foil. Keldeo 120 does, we've seen this one before. So this, once again, this is another card that has 4 in 1. And Electric Energy, another Donphan, another Braixen, and another Lopunny. So I think at this point I have like 5 Lopunnies. I probably only have 2 Bunnies. Alright. Alright. So, okay. Here's another Phoebus. Here's another Phampi. Here's another Litten, Rufflet, Fennekin. Here's an Esper, but it's a reverse foil. Talonflame. This is the first time we've gotten level 3 for Fletchinder. 100 HP, 140, quick die. This attack does 50 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Or Merciless Strike for 80 plus. If an active Pokemon already has any damage counters, this strike does another 80 damage. So, Green Energy, another Clang, another Emergency Jelly, and another Aquanid. Alright. Alright. Put that away. Okay. Indeedee, Baltoy, Sunkern, Clink, Pet Lily. Here's another Aquanid, but it's a reverse foil. Here's a Dragonite foil, HP 160, does Dragon Claw for 80, and Energy Hurricane for 180. And search your deck for 3 basic energy cards and put them onto your Pokemon in any order. So, I've got several Dragonairs and Dratinis, but this is the only Dragonite that I pulled in this whole set. Another Dark Energy, another Serena, another Regenerative Energy, and another Duosion. I think I only have 2 of these. Okay. Here's another Durant, another Emolga, another Beldum, another Stunfisk, another Vulpix. I think we've seen Ariados. Evolves from Spinarak, HP 90. Hidden Threads, your opponent's Pokemon V-Star attacks cost 1 energy more, or appears for 50. Another Zygarde, Water Energy, Stonjourner, Ferret Horn, and Palisand. Alright. Okay. Here's another Litten, another Murkrow, another Swablu, another Rotom, a second Buneary. Now I believe I have two Bunearys. Hawlucha. Yeah, that's a reverse foil. I've got a V-Star. This one is Regidrago. Actually, I think I've seen this one before. Yeah, I don't think we've seen Regidrago V, though. So, I'm going to have multiples of those. It's going to be great fodder for the open TCG market. What is the difference between foil and reverse foil? The difference between foil and reverse foil is, as you can see from this card, the area around the card has foil on it, but the actual image inside the Pokemon card doesn't, and that's the difference. If it was a foil card, it would be the other way around. It's just the window that has the Pokemon on it would have the foil in it. Yeah, Regidrago, another Silver Energy, another V-Guard Energy, another Hypno, and another Honchkrow. That's probably two Honchkrows I have, but a whole flock of Murkrows. Let's see. Okay, this is getting a little bit too tall. Here's another Snorunt. Here's another Fletchling. Here's another Ferroseed. Here's another Smeargle. Here's another Esper. Here's another... Well, this is a Fennekin. This one's a reverse foil. This one is a Hisuian Lilligant, HP 120. Swelling Scent requires no energy. You search your deck for 2 energy cards and attach them to your bench Pokemon in any way you like, or do Spiral Kick for 50. Despite it being a grass card, it only uses colorless energy. Another Psychic, another Matang, another Furisode Girl. Oh, almost forgot to remove the live card from that one. And another Lopunny. Alright. This one, take that card, put it aside. Alright, so here's another Dreepy, here's another Phanpy, here's another Fletchling, here's another Chimecho, here is another Phoebus. This is a Wallace, but it's a reverse foil. Here's another V Pokemon. This is Chestnut. Oh, actually, yeah, we've already pulled one Chestnut card before. This is another V-Star token. This is the first time we've seen Ninetales, and I think we've pulled, probably up to 10 Vulpixes. HP 110, Hypnotic Gaze. Pokemon is not asleep or Scorching Breath. During your next turn, this Pokemon can attack. Another Leafy Camo Poncho, and another Slurpuff. Alright, this is the penultimate. This is the booster pack before the final booster pack. Alright. Okay, so here's another Dratini, here's another Chinchou, here's another Metatite, here's another Depiter, here's another Ponyta. So this is, this is a full foil card. This one is a Radiant Jirachi, HP of 90. Ability, Entrusted Wishes. If this Pokemon is in the active spot and is knocked out by damage from an attack, your opponent's Pokemon, search your deck for up to 3 cards and put them in your hand and then shuffle your deck. Or Astral Misfortune, flip 2 coins. If both of them are heads, your opponent is knocked out. Dragapult. So, I think this is... I don't think we've seen a Dracloak yet. I think this is the only time that we've... So this is the Stage 2 evolution. So it evolves from Drakloak, I think we've only seen 2 of them, but we've had plenty of the first versions of it. Let's see. HP 150 Dragon Launcher. Discard a number of your benched energy up to the number of your opponent's Pokemon in play. Then for each Dreepy you discarded, choose one of your opponent's Pokemon, do 100 damage to it. You can't choose the same Pokemon more than once. The damage isn't affected by weakness or resistance, or do Spooky Shot for 120. Fire Energy, Quad Stone. I have enough Quad Stones to actually do the Quad Stone effect. That might be something I should contemplate. Another Regenerative Energy and another Unidentified Fossil. So I hold in my hand the final booster pack. Alright. Okay, so this is the last time I get to do anything in the way of an impressive draw, so let's see what we got. Another Fennekin, another Spinarak, another Beldum, another Krogunk, another Solosis, another Sandile, this one's a reverse foil, another Victini, a Electric Energy, a Lance, an Archon. I think this is the first time I've drawn one of these. Evolves from an unidentified fossil, HP 80. Does flat for 30 and claw slash for 80. And finally, a Clank. So, that is it. That is everything I plan on unboxing today. I probably ended the stream, probably about 30 minutes earlier. Certainly a lot earlier than if I was unboxing a deck of Commander Legends, but I digress. Alrighty, so thank you everybody once again for tuning in to Brainy the RPG Cat. As always, these streams are brought to you by GreatMedia.Games for inexpensive TCG single cards. Visit GreatMedia.Games and use the code 1050 at checkout for 10% off your online purchase. Also, be sure to check out my Ko-fi page if you are interested in leaving tips or requesting art commissions. I am loving these card pulls. There's just something, I don't know. It's between wholesome and cozy. Well, I certainly do appreciate that this is making good content, and it's not just me opening up a grotesque amount of children's playing cards. I'm glad that you have been enjoying it. And let me see, what was the last one? Oh yeah. Be sure to check out my throne. Leave requests for me to add to my wish list, or buy requests that are already on the throne list. I do my level best to make sure that everything that I put out is something that might materialize into another stream sometime in the future. So thank you everybody once again. This has been a lovely evening. I am going to pick out somebody to raid now. Let's see, who would I like to visit? Still waiting for the Twitch page to load. Alright. That might be interesting. Okay. We're going to go over and we are going to visit Marin Mermaid. She's in the middle of doing her Sunday night stream of Stardew Valley along with half GMG. So I'll start with a shout out. Maid. Alright. And while you're there, make some more clips, because I think she only has 2 clips at the moment. Solar AF says thanks for streaming. Thanks for tuning in. I wouldn't continue to stream if it weren't for people like you coming back and visiting frequently. So I appreciate you. Thanks as always. Of course, of course. Uh, I think that froze a little bit. I don't know what's going on with the Twitch clip stream server, what have you. But anyways, thank you everybody for tuning in. It's very likely that the next time you're going to see me will be this coming. No, actually, okay. I think the next time you'll be able to see me is this coming Tuesday. I'm going to be playing. We're going to be playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Chaos with Great Media Games and Rocky Mountain Pro. And I created the win condition for this game. We are going to be playing with normal cards, nothing but normal monster cards, spells, and traps. So be sure to tune in for that. Thank you everybody for watching. Everybody have a good night.